Beginning, the crash in the dead zone. The wind over Valaris Prime howled like a living creature, sweeping red dust across a battlefield that had long gone silent. Smoke rose in slow spirals from the charred skeletons of ships, the aftermath of a skirmish between the Terran vanguard and the Zarathi Dominion, a war so ancient that no one remembered who struck first. Dr. Nathan Corrin trudged through the wreckage with his scanner in hand. He had stayed behind after the evacuation, searching for survivors, not because he was ordered to, but because he couldn't stand the thought of someone dying alone out here. His scanner pinged faintly. Life form detected. Unknown origin. He frowned. Unknown. That's never good. Following the signal, Nathan reached a shattered alien cruiser embedded in the dirt, smoke curling from its side. The air shimmered with residual plasma energy, and the acrid smell of burned metal stung his throat. The hull markings, a silver crest shaped like twin suns, made his pulse quicken. "Zarathi," he whispered. "Enemy." But the reading was faint. Someone inside was still alive. Against every regulation, every warning in the Terran field manual, he entered the wreckage. He found her slumped against the wall of the ship's corridor, blood, silver blue and faintly luminescent, pooling beneath her. Her armor was cracked, her breathing shallow. She was striking even in her ruined state, tall, statuesque, with iridescent skin that seemed to reflect the dim light around her. A silver circlet rested against her forehead, cracked down the middle. Nathan knelt beside her. "Hey! Can you hear me?" Her eyelids fluttered open, revealing eyes that glowed like molten gold. They fixed on him with both confusion and disdain. "A human," she whispered, her voice trembling but regal. "You're hurt," he said. "Let me help you." "Touch me and you die," she rasped, lifting a weak hand toward his throat, but the gesture faltered midway and she collapsed again. Nathan ignored the warning. "You can threaten me later." He activated his med glove, pressing it to her wound. The device emitted soft pulses of green light as it began to close the gash. As he worked, her breathing stabilized, though her eyes stayed on him the entire time. It was not the gaze of someone helpless. It was the gaze of someone used to command. When the bleeding slowed, she finally spoke again. "Why would a human save one of the Zarathi?" "Because you're alive," Nathan said simply. "And that's reason enough." Something flickered across her expression. Confusion, perhaps even a hint of respect. Then she fell unconscious again. Middle, the Empress revealed. Nathan set up camp in a nearby cave to protect her from the raging dust storms. For 2 days, she lay unconscious as he tended to her injuries, carefully removing pieces of her armor to clean and repair them. When she finally awoke, the first thing she did was sit upright and demand, "Where am I?" "You're safe," he said, handing her a flask of water. "At least as safe as anyone can be on Valaris right now." She examined him, tilting her head. "You could have left me to die. Why didn't you?" He shrugged. "I'm a medic, not a soldier. My oath says to heal whoever needs it." She was silent for a long time before replying softly. "Humans rarely follow their oaths when facing us." Nathan smiled faintly. "Guess I'm bad at being typical." Her lips curved slightly. Not quite a smile, but something close. "You have courage, human." As she recovered, Nathan noticed her mannerisms, the way she moved, spoke, and carried herself even when weak. She wasn't an ordinary soldier. Her speech had an elegance to it, a weight that carried authority. On the third night, as he checked her vitals, she watched him closely. "You don't know who I am, do you?" He looked up. "You're Zarathi. That's dangerous enough for me to know." She exhaled slowly, her golden eyes gleaming in the firelight. My name is Vera Sol Theron, High Empress of the Zarathi Dominion, ruler of 1,000 worlds. Nathan froze. You're what? She didn't blink. The ruler of what you humans call the enemy. He sat back stunned. I should have guessed from the insignia. You're the one they blame for the war. Vera's gaze hardened. They blame me because they do not understand. My people fight to survive, not to conquer. We once sought peace. Your leaders refused. Nathan met her gaze steadily. That's not what they tell us. Of course not. Every empire tells its soldiers they're the heroes. The silence that followed was heavy, but not hostile. Nathan could feel the truth in her tone, the weary pain of a leader carrying too much for too long. Later that night, while she rested, he looked at her sleeping form and wondered how many lives had been changed by her decisions, and how many by his choice to save hers. Turning point: the hunt. By the 4th day, Nathan's scanner began picking up signals, Terran drones sweeping the area. If they found her, they'd execute her on sight. He rushed back to the cave. We have to move. They're scanning for survivors, but not the friendly kind. Vera's expression turned cold. Your people come to finish what the crash could not. Yeah, he said grimly, packing his gear. And they won't care that I'm the one who saved you. Then why not turn me in? She asked, testing him. Because I don't hand over people who trusted me, even alien empresses. Her eyes softened briefly. You are either brave or foolish. Both, he said. Now come on. They moved through the canyon under a crimson sky, staying low as the drones swept above. Vera's strength was returning, though her limp betrayed lingering pain. As they hid behind a ridge, a beam of light swept past them, a drone nearly catching sight of their movement. Nathan pressed her against the rock wall, shielding her body with his. Her breath hitched as their eyes met. For a fleeting moment, the war, the pain, the species, all of it disappeared. You would risk your life for me again, she murmured. Guess I'm consistent, he said, his heart pounding. The drone passed. They slipped through the canyon and into an abandoned mining facility. But as they entered, Vera's expression changed. A faint shimmer pulsed under her skin. No, she whispered. They've found me. The air filled with a low hum as a Zarathi extraction squad decloaked around them. Tall, armored warriors with weapons drawn. Nathan raised his hands instinctively, but they ignored him, bowing instead toward Vera. Your radiance, their commander said. We came the moment your signal activated. Nathan stared in disbelief. You had a tracker. Vera's gaze met his, unreadable. I did not know it still functioned. The commander turned to Nathan, his tone sharp. Step away from the Empress, human. Vera raised a hand. He stays. That silenced the commander instantly. Your radiance. He saved my life, she said. He is under my protection. The warriors exchanged uneasy glances. It was unheard of. A human under the protection of the Zarathi ruler. Climax, the decision. They boarded a Zarathi cruiser cloaked above the planet. Nathan followed in awe, the ship unlike anything he'd seen. Vast, alive, humming with energy that seemed to breathe. In the medbay, as the Empress received full treatment, Nathan stood awkwardly by the door. He felt out of place among beings who saw him as both inferior and dangerous.